Here we go. Hello, RX family. This is Robert Allen, Chief Mindset Officer of this incredible company. I just noticed today I received a notification from a Direct Selling News that RX is not only number 91 of the list of the top 100 direct selling companies in the world, and it's moved up on the list since last year, but to have a brand new company, literally less than 5 years old, competing against companies that have been out there for decades, and certainly 10, 20 years, to have RX go from nowhere to in the top 100 of the thousands of companies that are out there. We're in the top 100, number 91. But in America, we're number 48 of all the companies in America that have been launched. And I can tell you, this year, there'll probably be 200 companies launched this year. And most of those companies are going to fail. And for RX to survive, not only survive 5 years, but thrive in a big way, and to rise in the ranks is very exciting for all of us in this family. There is a reason why this company is growing. The products are great. The leadership is fantastic. The timing is perfect. And the people are coming to the leaders that are being attracted to this company. So you're in the right place at the right time. Welcome, everybody. This is the 6th of June, 2016. This is another in the series of 4 repeating calls that I do. And every single time I do these 4 repeating subjects, the subject changes, new information gets added, like I just added with you just now. So you can always go to goldmiind.com, and you can go to the archive at the very bottom of the web page, and you'll find an archive of previous re-recorded calls that you can listen to if you want to, if you ever miss one. The 4 essentially calls are 4 skills that I think you need, that you and I need in order to succeed. And somebody asked me today, what do you want to accomplish, Bob, in the next 5 years? And without any hesitation, within seconds, I knew exactly what I wanted to accomplish in the next 5 years. Why? Because in this new book that I've written that I'm going to be giving on the Boss at the convention that will be coming up here in Orange County, I want everybody in RX to receive a copy of this book if they go to the Boss. So it's going to be a while before we upload it, but the bottom line is I want you to have a copy of these 4 skills, and skill number 1 is clarity. And that is, what do you want? When do you want it? Why do you want it? Who do you want it with? Where do you want it? And eventually we get to the how you want it part. But you got to know where you want to go, because your brain, the most powerful computer in the world, if you tell your brain that you don't want to be poor, what does your brain do with that information? It has to bring up all kinds of images of you being poor and overwhelmed and stressed with financial pressure. You don't want your brain to be thinking about that. You want your brain to say, this is where I want to go. I want to have this kind of financial freedom. I want to have this kind of health in my life. I want to have this kind of money. I want to have this kind of relationships with people around me. I want to have this kind of free time. Tell your brain what you want. And then the brain, and while you're sleeping and while you're doing all kinds of other things, your conscious mind, it can only juggle 5 or 6 thoughts at a time, but your unconscious is juggling enormous information that you've gathered throughout your lifetime. And when you give it clear instructions on, this is what I want, this is where I want it, this is why I want it. Hi, welcome, Jerry. Welcome to our call today. Then your brain has a way of looking throughout the world and spotting what it is you say you want and letting you know exactly how you can get what it is you want. So welcome everybody to our calls. And Jerry's just joined us. This call is being recorded. And let's see, hold on one second. And you don't have to, Jerry, as you're joining with us, you can say hi. Say hi, Jerry. Can you hear me? There she is. Where are you calling from?
Sheridan, Wyoming.
Okay, well, welcome to our call. You don't have to have your camera on right now if you don't want to. You can, so that you can listen and watch. But when I ask questions, I'll come out and turn on your camera for you, okay? So I'm going to mute your video. I hope you can still hear me. Let's see, I want to make sure that, so Jerry, just to double check, I want to make sure that if I do start your video again, could you hear me while you were gone? I guess is the question. Jerry, could you hear me while I was gone? Because that said I can mute your video. Just
I can hear you.
okay, good. So you know sometimes when we're on these calls live with cameras, it doesn't give you the opportunity to be a little more free. So I'm gonna mute your video, but it won't mute your sound. Anyway, back to what we were saying, everybody. Hold on just a second. The clarity is something I want to ask you. What do you want? Does your brain immediately know what you want? And that's skill number one. It's just clarity. Skill number two is are you ready for what's coming? It's what we call the anticipation method. It's really knowing what you want and knowing what kind of price you're going to have to pay to get it. And most people don't know that answer to that question. They dream, but they don't plan in such a way. Hold on just a second. They don't plan in such a way that when they start climbing the mountain, they're not prepared. So everybody can dream, but very few people have anticipated the challenges that are going to come up, and actually anticipated the champions that are going to show up to help you as well. And then number three, you have a ritual that prepares you to be successful, and all successful people have that ritual. I call it the ritual map. And finally, the skill is the task. How do you get stuff done every day? So since this is the beginning of June, we're going to go through the series of 4 calls throughout the month of June. Forgive me for not being here for you for the last 2 weeks of calls. I was in Asia. I'm sorry, I was in Italy for my 68th birthday. My wife and I had a wonderful trip. I taught a seminar while I was over there. And then tomorrow I leave to go to Asia, where I'll be gone for another 12 days. So it's been a pretty busy time. I sent people to the recorded versions of my calls. But over the next month, I want you to be able to experience these calls. So today, let's complete our conversation about clarity. Map number one, if you know what you want, more than likely, all the other things take care of themselves. You know clearly what you want, and you keep that in front of you at all times. The things you need to do, tasks, the preparation you need to do on a daily basis, ritual, and anticipation. Those things are kind of secondary skills. The most important skill you can have is to know clearly what you want. Now, somebody asked me a question right at the very beginning of our call, before the recording started. He said, ask me a question that I can respond to and answer in the middle of our conversation today to make your time here worthwhile. And Paul asked me, he said, you know, how do I go, let's see if I can remember exactly how he wrote it down here. How do I go about the details of explaining how this works? And the second question that was asked by Michelle, which was, how do I keep myself engaged? Because I've got a lot of things going on in my life. And then how do I keep the people that I'm invited to take a look at this? How do I keep them engaged in the middle of their busy lives? So I'm going to answer Michelle's question first, and then I'm going to go to Paul's. And it's going to fit within the conversation we're having today about clarity. Hello, Thomas. How you doing? So the question on how do you keep yourself engaged? Hold on one second. If you don't know what you want, then any path will take you there. the Alice in Wonderland story about Alice coming to a fork in the road, and the Cheshire Cat asked her, where are you going? And she asked, well, I really don't care. And he said, then it doesn't matter which road you take. You can take this road, that'll get you to I don't care. You take this road, that'll get you to I don't care. And you end up at this fork of the road every single day in your life with all the decisions that you make. And every decision that comes into your mind, if you don't know exactly where you want to go, then anytime a decision is placed in front of you, any V in the road, it doesn't matter which way you go. So the decision is fairly easy to make. Whatever, right? Well, whatever doesn't take you where you want to go. Whatever is such a general destination that then you'll always be whatevering in your life. So if you know clearly when you want to go, and if you know clearly that you want to have an RX business, and it's really important to you, and that 5 years from now you want to wake up and make a decision whether you don't want to work on other things any longer, or you want to be able to live on the streams of income that come from RX. 5 years from now, if that's clearly in your mind, then every decision you make today is either going to take you towards that or away from that. Watch TV. Does that take me towards my 5-year ideal or away from it? Watch TV. Takes me away from it. Work on another business that I have. And all of us have different ways of making money. We got jobs, we got businesses that we do. Working on another business, does that take you away from or towards your 5-year ideal when it comes to your RX business? It takes you away from it. Yeah, it might be down the path you do want to go. You want to build another stream of income. Maybe it's a job or a business that you run, but every minute you spend on that other business is going to take you away from your RX path. And you can organize your life so that during this part of the day, I focus 100% on that stream of income. But when we get to this part of the day, I focus 100% of my effort on this RX stream of income. But if you don't have a clear destination that you're going, then the fork in the road that comes up every day is going to take you, more than likely, it's going to take you away from that goal. It's going to take you away from the things you really want 5 years from now. So it takes enormous commitment and dedication to the word no. You'll be tested every day, 1,000 times today. You're going to make about 1,000 decisions today. I had to decide what I ate this morning, meetings that I had today, how long they would go, other conversations with other people, other appointments that I had. I talked to my tax accountant, had to make that decision. You'll make, everybody ordinarily makes about 1,000 decisions today. What percentage of those decisions are going to change your life? Well, there are ordinary decisions that are important to maintaining your lifestyle, and there are decisions that you have to make. But in order to have a great life, an ideal life, what percentage of those 1,000 decisions you're going to make today will take you towards your ideal life? Well, a friend of mine, Marshall Thurber, did some research on that, and he says that it's definitely less than about 10 of those decisions, about 1/10 of 1%, are really going to take you to a great life. And most of the other decisions are going to take you to an ordinary life. And some of the decisions you're going to make are going to take you to a terrible life, a life that will be so far less than ideal you won't want to live it. In other words, you're going to make some good decisions today, and you're going to make some absolutely terrible decisions today. We all do. every one of us. And obviously we need to move, of those 1,000 decisions, we need to move most of them into a better life decision, having a better life that we're living. But, you know, we have to reduce the number of bad decisions we make every day and increase the number of good decisions, you know, correspondingly. But we have to have some great decisions made every day, great ones. And the decision between a good decision and a great decision, a ordinary mediocre life versus an ideal life, you mean you're going to have to say no to some mediocre decisions. Now, you don't have to say no to all of them. You're going to maintain your life in a fairly ordinary, basic way, but there are going to come moments throughout your day when you will have to make a yes or no decision, a binary decision. You're going to be yes or no. It all boils down to yeses or nos at the fork of the road that you're going to be making today. And so, to answer Michelle's question, how do you keep yourself engaged? Well, you keep yourself engaged by having a very clear image of what it is you want, and a very clear understanding of the sacrifices you're going to have to make in order for you to get to that ideal lifestyle. And yes, you'll be making sacrifice today, at least 10 times today. If you want your ideal lifestyle, you're going to have to say no to a mediocre lifestyle. You have to say no to an ordinary lifestyle. It could be good. It could be a decision that would put you into generally pretty normal American lifestyle, right? But you're going to have to say no to it. You're going to have to say, I don't want a basic, ordinary, mediocre life. I want a great life. I want an ideal life. I want the best life. I don't want just a better life. I want the best that I can have. And you're going to have to say yes to some very hard decisions today. If your dream is clear, if you have an image of what it is you want, and it's very, very detailed, you know what it is, then that's going to be 90% of the process of making the decision between a mediocre life and a great life. 90% of it is being very clear on your great life, because your brain will bring you to the crossroads of a decision, and you'll go, yeah, I could do this, or I could do that. Which of those do I want? Which one is going to take me towards my ideal lifestyle? And the more clear your image is, your vision is, the more you'll be inspired to make a hard decision, a decision of sacrifice, where you will actually say no to something pleasurable right now. You'll have to make an investment and take away some of the money that you could be spending on yourself right now and investing it in something that's going to take you to a better lifestyle in the future. And that's the best way I know to be engaged, is to know clearly what your 3 projects are, so that you can articulate them to anybody at the drop of a hat. Now, the same thing goes with the person you're trying to enroll. Because one of the reasons that they don't say yes to RX immediately is because as soon as we get into how do we do this, they're going to throw the how-to question at you. And the how-to question is a question that a lot of people ask because they don't want the answer. So as soon as you tell them how to do what they're going to need to do, they can immediately say no to it, because they're going to come up with 4 excuses. They're going to say, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough energy, or some way of saying that. And as soon as you tell them how to do, it's easy for them once they realize that this is, what it's going to take, they're going to say no to it because the previous questions were not answered. And what are the previous questions? It's why you never want to tell a person how to do something. It's the wrong thing to tell them up front. It's out of order to the way you need to engage somebody. You don't want to tell them how to do it. You want to tell them, you want to ask them, what do you want? What do you really want? And what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? Is that really important to you? Because RX is a vehicle to take you to that. Anybody who can tell me what they want, I can show you how RX is the answer to that. Without telling you how to do RX. You need to know what they want. You need to know when they want it. You need to know who they want it with and who they want it for. You need to know what is it that they want? Where is it they want it? Those questions need to be answered first. And then when they get into the how, then they're prepared to answer the question, am I willing to pay a price to get it? There's another question that you also need the answer to, and that is, why do you want this? See, if I tell you how to do something, and it really doesn't fit into really why you want to do it, then it's so easy to say no. So someone's going to ask me, how are we going to do this? And you're going to have to be courageous enough to say, I'm not going to answer that question until I know some other answers to questions I need to know so I can advise you. See, like a doctor comes in and you come into the doctor and you say to the doctor, I got this pain, And what's the doctor supposed to say? She say, well, I can tell you how to get rid of that pain. Usually when people take this kind of medication, this painkiller, that'll get rid of the pain. But the doctor doesn't have enough information to make a diagnosis. And you as a consultant, and this is consultative persuasion, you can't consult unless you know what a person wants, why they want it. And then you can say, well, this is how you would build this particular stream of income based upon what it is you want and why it is you want it. We can work up a program for that. So, Michelle, back to your question, how to keep somebody engaged. If they don't know what they want, then obviously they're going to be faced with the fork in the road 1,000 times today, and you being one of those forks, RX being the pathway to them being a consumer of the product and for them being a team member with you. If they don't have a clear understanding of what they want and what RX can do for them, then any other route is going to take them to whatever they want because they don't know what they want. And therefore, you want to keep them engaged, then you need to know not only what you want, why you're working with them, why you're willing to spare some time with them. You need to know what they want, and they need to know it. Because if they don't know it, then the 1,000 decisions come up, they're not going to make the decision on your behalf, in your favor. There's going to be confusion there. And confusion, and my friend Jack Miller used to say, a confused mind always says no. So if you want to be rejected, make sure they have a confused mind about this. If you want them to say no to you, if you want them not to return your telephone calls, then make sure you don't align what it is you're doing with what it is they want. And this is classic marketing languaging. The problem with most marketers is they have stuff they want to sell. And they'll sell it to anybody because they want to sell it. But only a small percentage of the people are perfect for that product. And therefore, they end up selling stuff to people who don't want it without finding people who want it and are ready to say, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's the goal that I'm seeking. That's what I really want. Will RX help me accomplish that? Great. So that, Michelle, was a long answer to the clarity conversation, which is the first skill. It's a skill that you need to know. It's a skill you need to be so clear about that it is the first skill you need to learn, not only for yourself, but for anybody you enroll in RX. And that's why I teach the simple, diagrams, the frowny face and the smiley face. And I basically say to anybody that you're talking with, you want to have a very simple way of really accessing inside that person where they really will share with you what they really want. And you take them through the simple diagrams that I've taught in the previous classes. And let me go to those again really quickly. You should be able to, I hope you can see on your screen a little picture of me talking, and then you're going to see this PowerPoint, which is, what do you want? And unanswered questions are speed bumps, and they slow you down. They cause you to hesitate. And what question slows you down? So if you have a question, it's because you're not clear about what you really want. So if you don't draw these diagrams with your prospect, then you need to be drawing them in your mind. You need to be having, when you're talking to somebody, realizing they have a frowny face, because there are parts of their life that do not work. And there are parts of their life that they would love to fix, right? And most people who are on the bottom left-hand corner, they have this box around them that's a wall of fears that really stops them from imagining a better and brighter future. And when you actually put it this clearly with an ordinary person that you're having a conversation with, and you take them into the future to a 5-year from now ideal lifestyle with lots of love and lots of free time and lots of health and lots of money, this is where everybody wants to go. Some of them may have given up on this process, and therefore they say that they really don't want those 4 things I just mentioned to you, but they do. Everybody would like to make more money, and or everybody would like to have more love in their life, and or everyone would like to have more health, and or everyone would like to have more free time. You're going to reach everyone by touching on those 4 buttons. And when you have a conversation with somebody, if you don't draw this out, then at least walk through the process in your mind as you're talking with somebody and you're asking them the question, tell me, what do you want? And if you draw it out with people, then you'll add a little plus sign on a blank piece of paper, and you'll have them write out 3 things that they would love to have in their life if they could wave a magic wand and add those things. And what would they remove from their life if they could wave a magic wand and remove those things? Once you know that information about them, you probably will know more information than they know, because these positive things, these things they want to add to their life and things they want to subtract, they're all jumbled up in their minds. And, all the things that they want and don't want are in a confusing mess in their heads. And therefore, clarity takes away the confusion. Remember I said a confused mind says no? So when you have them draw this out, it literally separates in their minds the things they don't want from the things they want, and gives them a clear, for the first time, maybe unconfused and simplified description of what it is they really want to accomplish with their life. So then you ask them, why do you want that? And if you get them to really give you a serious, not a throw off the cuff, well, I always wanted to have more money. Why? Why do you want that? Well, because, I want a better car, Why do you want that? Well, It's nice to have a nice new car. You know, why is that nice? Well, yeah, I like the way I look in a nice new car. Yeah, I do. I like the way people look and respect me. Oh, why do you want that? Well, everybody wants to look good, don't they? Yeah, why do you want that? Well, now when you start to get into some pretty deep stuff, you know, you start realizing, you know, well, because I want to look good to my family. Really, yeah, I want my kids to respect me and admire me. And really, why do you want that? Because now this is obviously pretty deep conversation. And most of the time you're going to be at a very surface level with people. They rarely will share with you that kind of deep stuff. But if you're not trying to pitch them, you're not trying to immediately sell them on RX, but if you're trying to find out exactly where they are, if you have time to spend with people, with an individual, and when they get to the real heart core of it, they'll generally come up to, you know, I want my life to matter. I want my life to matter. I want my family to be taken care of if I'm not here. For those of you who have a belief in a higher power, I want when it's all said and done, and my life is finished, and this ticker stops ticking, you know, I want my higher power, Heavenly Father, however you want to refer to it, to go, good job, you know, well done. You made some mistakes, but on the whole, good job. We can work with that. Come and let's move into the rest of eternity. So there'll be a lot of, you know, pretty deep level stuff that people are going to share with you. If you can be trustworthy enough to let them talk and not always trying to jump in with an answer. So when you understand those three simple questions, what do you want? What don't you want? Why? It gives them clarity. Confusion starts to fade. And then this fog that we're in, we're all in this fog every day. We know we have certain things we have to do. We got to eat, we got to take care, we got to sleep, we got to take care of our families, we got to take care of our bodies, our minds, we have to take care of our spiritual values. We got just ordinary stuff you got to do to have just a day on this earth. And then in the middle of all that, yeah, we have to sacrifice some time, a little sliver of time, where we block out the entire world and the entire whirlwind that's going on around us. And we say, you know what? My dream is so important to me that I'm going to say no during this period of time, 15 minutes, half hour, today. I'm going to invest in my dream today. And every day I invest in it. So back to Michelle's question, which was, you know, how do I juggle this kind of stuff? How do I keep myself on track? The way you keep yourself on track is that every day you commit to a little bit of time. Now, during your learning phase in RX, you know, there's time that you have to spend to study, to go through our websites, and, you know, during this half an hour you spend every day, if you really, really want to push everything apart or aside, so you can focus on that 15 or 20 minutes, then you should schedule it into your calendar. Most people have their calendars right on their phones. You know, when I open my calendar, I can tell you exactly what I'm doing today. And as I look at that list, if the things that are really important to me are not in that calendar, or if my 3 projects I'm working on 5 years from now, if they're not on my calendar, or they're not so clear in my head that I don't even need to look there, then they don't get done. You know, so I would, if I were you, to answer your question, put it in your calendar. When? Tell me when tomorrow you're going to push aside your other business and focus on this business at 100% level. Focus, so that during that time frame, that's all you do. And you say no to everything else, any phone call, any email, any text. Sorry, no. During this time, I'm going to invest time to learn how to build this business, but that's not enough. Every day you have to plant some seeds. You don't plant seeds today, you don't have a crop tomorrow. You don't plant a crop tomorrow, you don't have a crop the day after tomorrow. So every day you have to plant seeds. You have to let people know that you are in this business and that you'd like to share with them what you'd like to know about it, what they'd like to know about it. So 2 activities every day that have to fit within your time frame. Number 1, learning, study. But if you only study and do not do, go out in the world and plant some seeds, then you might not as well study. Because you can study yourself to death. There is too much to learn. You're going to have to be doing some things without study. You're going to have to just go out and do it. And you're going to look foolish at first. Yep, and you're going to make some mistakes at first because there's too much to learn. I have on my calendar over here, I have 50 books on network marketing right there. Have I read all those books? No, but I've read a few of them extremely well. Many, 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 many times. And I know exactly how to build that business, although I've got 50 books there. If I were to read all those books, there's no way I would build a business. You have to just take some basic things and you got to do them every day. You got to notify people on Facebook. Hey, I'm launching this new business, and you just tell it like it is. I'm still learning how to do this. But I just wanted folks to know that I have I've launched a new business and I'm kind of excited about it. And I'm still trying to figure out how to fit it into my life. Just tell the truth. And if anybody wants to learn more, I'll do my best at explaining it to you, or I'll send you to a website. Why don't you go to rxpresentation.com. And now, when somebody responds, you can just send them to rxpresentation.com. Let them watch the slides, the PowerPoint slides that are there, and all the videos and the audios that are there. And then the presentation does the work for you. And you planted a few seeds. Most of those seeds are going to die. But every once in a while, once a month, some of those seeds are going to say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly the dream I'm trying to build for myself. Yeah, I want more health. Yeah, I want more time. Yeah, I want more money. Yeah, I want more love. This is it. This is my answer. Thank you very much. If you hadn't planted the seed, that person would not be talking to you in an exciting way. So back to answer your question again, Michelle. Clarity. That keeps you engaged. Now, how do you go about explaining the details of how somebody does this business? Is what Paul, I think, was asking. Well, I'm going to give you the basic traditional answer for network marketers, which is don't. You don't do it. You have your upline do it. Now, you may not have an upline that's still engaged, and that's a problem. We call that being an orphan in network marketing, where somebody signed you up all excited, you got excited, you were happy, you love the products, and then your upline disappears. And you don't know who above you could teach and coach you, right? So the worst case scenario is you take them to the RX presentation live conference call that happens every single week. And every week, I think twice a week, you can invite somebody to come to that call and let them listen to a presentation and let the pro do it for you, okay? That's the generic answer. And therefore, until you can do that presentation by yourself, let the pros do it. And if your upline is not there to help you, like one-on-one and a call that you can do, we call that a three-way call, then you can take them to the call with RX, where leaders do these calls every single week. You find that out on the calendar at rx.com, and you can take people there. It's live. You can probably ask questions. And the other more detailed answer to your question, Paul, is how do you explain simply how network marketing works. You use a metaphor that is everybody knows. Why did Amazon.com get so big? Really, what was the thing that launched Amazon.com? It's a simple program that Jeff Bezos launched at the early parts of Amazon, where he let you put the link to Amazon on your website. And if somebody came to your website, clicked on that link and went to Amazon and bought a book, you as an affiliate for Amazon earned a fee anywhere from 2 to, I've heard as high as 7%. I don't know what the number is, but it's a certain small percentage of the price of that book comes to the person who referred because they had a website. And now when you take that Amazon.com symbol, that link, and you place it on tens of millions of websites, whereas a little extra stream of income, tens of millions of people are incentivized to put that on their website, you can see why the explosion of Amazon happened and why now it is the everything store. A book I've just been reading recently it's called The Everything Store. I bought it I think I bought it on my way to Italy on the 18th of May. So now we're a couple weeks later. Finished the book while I was on the trip. Have such great respect. And I know some things about Jeff Bezos I don't respect, to tell you the truth, after reading that book. But I have some things I greatly respect. And I can tell you really, without any question at all, he is very clear about what he wants. He has to fight like a mad dog sometimes with his own advisors, with his own people about his vision for what Amazon is supposed to be. And he wanted to be an everything store where everybody could come to Amazon and buy anything in the world. And he's eventually going to make that happen. He is very clear. You want to read about somebody who has a clear vision, and there you go. There's your metaphor. But when you talk to somebody about network marketing, you just say, that's exactly what ARX has done. We have thousands of people all around the world who have on their website, technically. You can have an ARX website, by the way. It's easy to get one. It's free. And you can get your own website with your links on it, and everything else. Or you can send them to your own website. And essentially, you are a spokesperson for this company. So now ARX has tens of thousands of people all around the world who are spokespeople for these products and who are spokespeople because they take the products themselves. So you can just say, do you know Amazon.com? Do you know why it got so big? It's because it had lots and lots of affiliates out there. In a sense, that's what I am for ARX as well. I'm an affiliate in a sense. And you can just be a customer and you can consume the products and absolutely love them and never have to talk about this to anybody. Or once you take the products and love them and they change your life, like they changed mine, then you may want to be a spokesperson like I'm a spokesperson. And you want to earn a little stream of income as a result of that as well. But what's powerful and what is different than Amazon doesn't do this. Amazon only pays you on one level. And therefore, anybody you send, they now end up being a customer for Amazon. And therefore, anybody who you brought to Amazon is basically now their customer, no longer your customer. They still might be friends of yours, but anytime Amazon tries to sell them anything else of the hundreds of thousands of products available on Amazon, whenever the person you brought to Amazon buys anything else through Amazon, you get zero. And so pretty smart on Bezos's part, wasn't it? To have you bring all those customers to him for peanuts, and he gets the customers for the rest of their life? That's not fair, is it? Well, the fair part of ARX is we let you not only have a little stream of income from the people you bring in who love the products and will be grateful for you. But when they share it with somebody else, you earn a little stream of income from that as well. And when that person shares it with somebody else, you earn a tiny little stream of income from that too. And eventually, people you have never met in countries you've never thought you'd ever go to are buying these products because of your recommendation. And instead of like Amazon, which cuts off the stream, and they take the reason that Bezos is a billionaire is because he takes all the customers. When you deliver them there, we want you to be the millionaire. Maybe not a billionaire from RX, but certainly you could be a millionaire. You could be a multi-millionaire because the way RX pays, the affiliation that you bring into RX, is you can earn streams of income from thousands of people you've never met because of that introduction. And this is powerful. It's very little understood. It's badly misunderstood by most people because they live in a world where people market products in traditional businesses, and they don't understand this new model. I believe it's an enlightened model. I love this model of RX and the way we pay. It's fantastic. And so, Paul, I think your name is Paul. At least that's the name I've been using. I hope that gives you a little bit of way of simply explaining to somebody what it is we're really doing. All right. Now, we find ourselves at the end of our hour. An hour goes pretty quickly. And I just want to thank all of you for joining with us here today. This call has been recorded. You can always listen to it again if you want to. I'm going to unmute all the calls let's see, how do I unmute everybody? Unmute everybody. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. And you're welcome to turn on your cameras if you want to say anything you want at this point. So any questions, comments, ahas you'd like to share with me? I'd love to hear from you. What's up?
Robert, thank you very much for just reiterating that time management is key when you're trying to juggle so many things. I think we get so busy in our day-to-day that we forget that it really takes time for us to stop and recalibrate our activities. And so that really helped me. Thank you.
Good. I'm very happy that was valuable to you. I always want to make our calls valuable to everybody who's listening and watching. Any other comments that anybody wants to make or any questions you might have? Anybody else? There is Jerry. And Jerry,
looks like I'm upside down.
Hi, Jerry. Upside down.
Hi. I hardly ever get to see any of these. So where do we go for the recordings to rewatch them?
You go to goldmiind.com, and that's M-I-N-D. Go. This call will be uploaded to RX within the next 24 hours. So when you go to goldmiind.com, you'll see this same call we're having right now. Then after a week, this will be taken down and be put in the archive at the very bottom of the page.
Okay.
And I don't know why you're upside down, but
I don't know either. Here, I'll flip my.
You know, there.
There.
Oh, so you're on a tablet, are you?
Yes, I'm on the tablet, so maybe that's why. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, that answers your question, does it, Jerry?
Yes, thank you very much.
Good. Anybody else have a question or comment?
So is the presentation you just did from the napkin presentation you did a while ago? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
This is part of the new book I'm going to be releasing at the convention. To have it in the back up. I've been working on it for too long. It needs to be out of my hair. So
great.
I want all of you to have a copy of it. But you can also watch on the Boss the napkin presentations that are there, which is a similar version of this.
Okay.
And any other questions, comments?
Thank you very much. It was great.
All right. Now, before I go then, those of you who are there, tell me an aha you had from hearing what I said today, where you went, oh, I never thought of it that way, or oh, I got it. Any aha you had that you can share with me that I can learn from?
I think for me it was revisiting that. I don't know why it's reverberating.
Oh, I can't hear the reverberation. I can't hear it. So,
okay. So just reiterating your why and getting it straight down.
All right, great.
And also finding out what, where, who, why all the people want everything. So.
Thank you, Jerry. How about you, Michelle? What's an aha you have?
Well, the clarity action is something that we use a lot in our team with Connie Houlihan. I think trying to remember that everybody has a choice and presenting so that the choice is clear to them is really important.
Yeah, good. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Call will be recorded and uploaded for you. I wish you all well. Great week, and I'll see you next week. Same time.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.